morning, dear students. Today we will read chapter number 3, The Four Puppets. Have you ever seen a puppet? A young man seeking his fortune gets differing advice from four puppets. Find out what happens once he follows their advice. Students, this is a chapter about a boy. His name is Ong. And his father is a puppet maker. Puppet means Katputli. Let us read the story and find out what happens. Once there was a puppet maker who had a son named Ong. The father always hoped his son would grow up to be a puppet maker too. But to Ong, such a life was far from exciting. See, father wanted Ong to become a puppet maker, but Ong did not want it to become a puppet maker because he thought that my life would not be exciting if I will become a puppet maker like my father. Father, said Ong one day, I have decided to leave home and seek my fortune. Seek my fortune means Ong wanted to leave the home and go to some other place to earn lots of money. The puppet maker looked up sadly from his work. The life of a puppet maker is an honorable one, but if you must go, let me give you companions for your journey. Father always wanted Ong to become a puppet maker like him, but as he had decided to go somewhere else to earn money, father said that I will give you 4 companions, means friends, for the journey. He showed his son 4 wooden puppets he had made. Each, he said, has its own virtue and value. So, what companions father gave to Ong? He gave him 4 wooden puppets. Each wooden puppet was having a good quality of its own. The first puppet was the king of gods. The puppet maker said his virtue is wisdom. So, the first puppet was the king of gods, and his quality was that he was a very wise puppet, very intelligent puppet. The second puppet was a green-faced ogre. His virtue is strength. So the second puppet was his face was of green color and he was an ogre, means a man eating giant. Giant means very big. And his quality was his strength. He was very powerful. The third was a mystic sorcerer. His virtue is knowledge. So the third wooden puppet was a mystic sorcerer. Mystic sorcerer means a person who has some spiritual qualities and who can perform magic. His virtue was knowledge. He was very knowledgeable. He was having knowledge of so many things. The fourth was a holy hermit. His virtue is goodness. And the fourth wooden puppet was a hermit. Hermit means in Hindi it is sadhu. Okay. And his virtue, his quality was goodness. He was very good at heart. He was a good puppet. So he told his son, each of these virtues can help you on your way. But remember, strength and knowledge must always serve wisdom and goodness. The father only gave one advice to Ong, that strength and knowledge must always serve wisdom and goodness, means being wise and being good is a better quality than having strength and knowledge. Or you should always first of all rely on your goodness and your wisdom instead of using your strength or knowledge first. Means you should act wisely in any situation, and always you should, whatever act you are doing in any situation, you should think good about it, not bad. Ong started off the next day. On his shoulder he carried a bamboo pole with food and clothing tied at one end and the puppets hanging by their strings from the other. As you can see in the picture given in the book, Ong is moving. On the one end of the bamboo pole there are the clothes tied in a cloth, and on the other side there are 4 wooden puppets hanging. When night came, Ong found himself deep in the jungle. He stopped beneath a banyan tree. Beneath means under. Then This looks like a good place to sleep, he said to himself, but I wonder if it's safe. So Ong was standing under the banyan tree and he was thinking that I should sleep here, but he was worried that whether the place is safe or not because it was a jungle. Then Ong had an idea. I think I will ask one of the puppets. He turned with a smile to the king of gods. Tell me, is it safe here? To his amazement, the puppet came alive. It got down from the pole and grew life size. Ong, said the god, look around you. This is the first step to wisdom. If you fail to see what is right before you, how easy it will be for others to misguide you. Then the puppet hung again from the pole. Now Ong thought that I should take advice from some of the puppet. So he called the first puppet the king of gods. When he called the king of gods and he asked him that is it safe here tonight, the puppet grew alive. Means वह जिंदा हो गया. Life size means एक इंसान, एक व्यक्ति जितना बड़ा हो गया, and he answered his question. That Ong, you should see here and there what is right before you with your open eyes and open mind. If you cannot see what is exactly before you, people will misguide you. Means we should always judge, we should always think about a situation very carefully. So after saying this, the puppet again hung from the pole. When Ong got over his shock, he looked carefully all around the tree. There in the soft earth were the tracks of a tiger. Soft earth means ढीली सी मिट्टी में. What he saw the tracks of a tiger, the paw prints of a tiger. That night he slept not on the ground but in the branches above. He was glad he did, for in the middle of the night he saw a tiger come prowling below him. So the advice was very good which the king of gods had given him, that he should look here and there. And when Ong looked, he saw the tiger paw prints and he decided to sleep in the branches of the tree. And exactly that happened, that a tiger came in the night prowling, means growling and making noises to eat somebody. The next day took Ong into the mountains, where he saw a caravan coming along the road below. A dozen bullock carts were piled high with costly goods. The caravan must belong to a rich merchant, Ong told himself. He turned to the ogre. Tell me, how can I gain such riches? So now when the next day in the morning Ong was going along the mountains, and he saw that below the road there was a caravan going on with so many people and bullock carts, and the bullock carts were piled high with the riches. Means piled high means ढेर लगे हुए थे of the precious things. So he turned to the second puppet, the green faced ogre, and he asked him that how can I gain such riches, how can I become rich? If you have strength, you can take whatever you like, boomed the ogre. He stamped his foot and the earth shook. Below them, dirt and rocks broke loose in a landslide and blocked the road. The terrified drivers jumped from their carts and ran off. Now, what happened? Ogre said as his quality was strength, so he used his strength. He stamped his foot on the earth, means ज़मीन पर जोर से पाँव मारा, and there was a landslide. बड़े बड़े पत्थर mountain से, पहाड़ से नीचे गिरने लगे. And the terrified drivers, the people who were driving the bullock carts, they ran away because the big stones were falling from the mountains. Ong hurried down and rushed from one cart to another, gaping at the rich fabrics and precious metals. All of it is mine, he cried. Very hurriedly, very fastly, Ong went to one bullock cart to another, and he was feeling very happy in amusement that all these riches are mine now. Just then Ong heard a sob. Sob means हल्की आवाज में रोने की आवाज, हल्के से रोने की आवाज. Ong heard somebody sobbing. Huddled in one of the carts was a lovely young woman his own age, and what he saw who was crying, a young lady was crying. She was huddled in one of the carts. Huddled means she was feeling very scared and sitting like the legs close to the body, and she was like kind of a bundle. I won't hurt you, said Ong gently. Who are you? My name is Mala, she said in a small voice. My father is the owner of this karma. We were on our way to meet him. So what the girl said, that I am Mala and we were going to my father to meet him. Mala Ong fell in love with her. He wanted to keep Mala with him forever. Don't worry, he said. I will take you with me and care for you. Mala sat up angrily. Take me like you are taking everything else, but you are just a thief and I will never speak to you. So now when Ong said that she was a very pretty lady and Ong fell in love with her, and Ong said, no problem, now I will take you and I will take care of you forever. Mala got very angry. Mala said to Ong that yes, you can take me with your strength wherever you want, but you will always remain a thief to me. Ong was shocked. Was he really just a thief? The ogre came up beside him. Don't listen to her. The important thing is you got what you wanted. Now let's go. So again, that green faced man eating giant puppet came to Ong and said, do not think about what Mala said. You got the riches which you wanted. Now be happy. That afternoon, they came out of the mountains not far from the capital city. Ong turned to the sorcerer. What should I do with these riches? Now, the mystic sorcerer, who was a magician, Ong asked him that what can I do with these riches? Now I have all the riches with me. I am very rich, but what should I do with these? The puppet came to life as Mala looked on with wide eyes. If you want your wealth to grow, you must learn the secrets of nature. So what advice the third puppet gave to Ong? That you must learn the secrets of nature. If you want that your riches, your money should grow, means become more and more. Mala also saw that the third puppet was coming to life. वो जिंदा हो गया था थोड़ी देर के लिए. Mala was also very shocked. He tapped Ong with his wand and together they rose high in the air. Looking down, Ong saw everything. He could tell what land was best for farming and which mountains held gold and silver. This is wonderful, said Ong. I can help everyone with what I know. Knowledge is power. Why not keep it for yourself instead? Isn't that what other people do? Asked the sorcerer. I suppose so, said Ong. So now, as he was a magician, wand is chhadi, jadoo ki chhadi. So this third puppet, he moved his wand and they rose in the air. हवा में ऊपर उड़ गए, and from there Ong could see that which land was best for farming and in which mountains he could find gold and silver. And when Ong said that now I know everything, I will share everything with everybody, but the sorcerer said that no need, everybody hides their secret, you should also hide your secret. So they came to the capital city. Ong became a merchant. With the help of the ogre and the sorcerer, he grew many times richer. He bought a palace and kept the puppets in a special room. But Ong was not happy, for Mala still would not speak to him. One day he placed before her a headdress set with large rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. It cost Ong a third of his wealth. Now see, he had purchased a palace. He was living in a good place. He was very, very rich now. But Mala was still angry with Ong. So he decided to please Mala, to make Mala happy. He presented her a headdress. Headdress is kind of a, you can say, taj. सिर पर पहनने वाला ताज. And it was having all the precious stones like rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. These are the kind of precious diamonds. And they were actually one third of all the Ong's wealth. But still Mala did not become happy. Mala took one look, pushed it away, and said not a word. Ong was heartbroken. The next morning he decided to find Mala's father and help him. Maybe then she would forgive him. But the ogre and the sorcerer advised him against it. Besides, they said, Mala ran away last night. In despair, Ong now turned to the holy hermit for the first time. He was thinking good. He thought that I will find Mala's father and I will let Mala meet her father so that she will become happy. But again, those two puppets, they did not wanted this, and they told Ong a lie that Mala had ran away. Now Ong was very heartbroken, he was very sad, and he went to the fourth puppet, holy hermit. You imagined that wealth brings happiness, but what is important is not what you have, but what you do with it. This holy hermit gave suggestion that see, money cannot bring happiness, but there are a lot of things which you can do with your money which will bring happiness. Ong realized his mistake. From that day, he used his wealth to do good. He built a pagoda and offered food and shelter to the visitors. So what he did? Now he built a very big temple kind of, where people can come and stay and eat. One day, Ong saw a woman he knew well. An older man stood beside her, both of them wearing humble clothes. Mala, cried Ong. He rushed over to them and knelt before her puzzled father. So one day what he saw, that there only in front of pagoda they saw there was a woman who was resembling Mala, and Mala was with her father. Mala had ran away from the palace, so now Mala was with her father in the same city. They were wearing very simple clothes. Humble means very simple, poorly clothes, ordinary clothes. Mala, as soon as Ong saw Mala, he ran to his father and he knelt before, means father के सामने झुक गया. Sir, I have done you great wrong. I beg your forgiveness. I beg your forgiveness means मैं आपसे माफ़ी चाहता हूँ. All I have, I give it up gladly. Like whatever I am having, it is because of you, and I give up gladly. मैं खुशी खुशी ये सब वापस करता हूँ. I will be content. Content means I will be satisfied to return to my village and make puppets. Father, said Mala softly, this is Ong, but he has changed. So, it would seem, said father. So, if so, it would be a shame to let him go. Perhaps he would like to work for me. So, Ong became the merchant's assistant, and when Mala's hurt was won, his son-in-law. So, what Mala's father decided that now Ong is a changed man and he could work for me. And after some time, they both got married, and Ong became Mala's husband and father's son-in-law. Ong still called on the puppets, but though he was helped often by strength and knowledge, he was always guided always by wisdom and goodness till date. Like after this episode also, after this also, Ong used to call puppets for so many things, but now he knew that strength and knowledge is one thing, but you should always use your wisdom and goodness, means you should act wisely and your heart should always feel good for others. So dear students, this was the story and I hope you have understood it. You have to complete the back exercise. It is already done in the PDF, and you have to write the word meanings in the notebooks in good handwriting.